everybody, it's Ian the Off Kilter Crafter. I hope you're having a great day today. Today I'm going to show you how to mass produce a large amount of cards using the brand new stamp set from Tim Holtz called Hipster. It's a part of the Stampers Anonymous stamp set, stamp club, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, lots and lots of stamps in this stamp set. Can I say stamps enough times in it? There are 5 hipster animals in this stamp set, and then some great quotes or greetings from it, like cray and epic and all sorts of great sayings for you to put on the front of the cards. This is a very simple card design, but it really, I feel, makes a very impactful card just because of its simplicity and how easy it is to recreate and mass produce. I was able to get 24 cards, as you can see here, in just one afternoon. This is great for me to have in my stash, so that way I can just pull one out, throw it in an envelope, and send it off to my recipient. And I love the animals from this. I can't get over it. Like I said, once the stamp set came out, I knew I had to absolutely have that stamp set. It's just great. Now comes getting the dies for this stamp set. So I'm pretty sure you're going to be seeing this stamp set later on in later videos, so don't worry, this stamp set is not going anywhere. I love it so much. So let's go ahead and get started on putting today's card together. Today I'm going to be using this stamp set from Stampers Anonymous. It is in the Tim Holtz collection. As soon as Tim Holtz announced this set, I knew I needed to have it, and I'm so glad that I decided to go ahead and buy it. It is a great set, and I have a lot of different ideas for using this stamp set because these really are images that are very versatile. You can use them in multiple different ways, and with all the different sentiments like epic and legit and oh my god, there's so many different ways to use these stamp sets, or this stamp set I should say. I've also bought some new watercolor paper. The watercolor paper that I was using I wasn't very happy with, so a lot of crafters that I've seen across YouTube and Instagram use Canson, so I've decided to go with the Canson XL watercolor paper. This is cold press and 140 pound paper. It's usually 9 inches by 12 inches, but I have cut it down today to make card fronts, so we're working with 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 pieces of watercolor cardstock. With rubber cling stamps like these, the ones that have the foam and the red to them, you do not need to use your foam insert whenever you're using your MISTI. I am going to go ahead and take that out. I'm using the MISTI today to help speed up the process. It's going to be very industrial, factory line kind of work where I'm going to be flipping really quickly back and forth. I'm going to go ahead and stamp. The way I've decided to design this card, I'm going to just have the simple image down here in the corner, and it's going to go very quickly, just moving back and forth. Alright, I have all of my panels stamped. I used VersaFine ink because I wanted nice details in these images. They have some small lines and small details that I think would work best with VersaFine ink. However, give it a try with whatever ink you have and see if you get the results that you like. I also am using the smooth side of the cardstock. I did not want to use the textured side because it would end up causing me to restamp it more than twice, more than likely, and I wouldn't get the crisp image that I was looking for. Next, I've grabbed a piece of acetate, my distress inks, and a water mister bottle so that way I can complete the ink smooshing technique. I'm going to be using all sorts of different colors of distress ink. I'm not just going to focus in on one, just do the full spectrum and have some fun with it. That's the best part about this technique is it's a lot of fun just to let it go and have some fun with it, and whatever direction it goes in is usually really cool. So have some fun with this technique, and like I said, I'm going to be using different colors, and yeah, here we go. Those of you who are not familiar with the ink smooshing technique, what you're going to do is take that piece of acetate, put down your distress ink onto that piece of acetate. You don't have to use very much, just a nice little squeeze will do just fine. I'm going to place my artwork right there. I'm going to take my spray bottle, give it a couple of squirts. Actually, I'm going to take my piece away because it has been known sometimes to spray out. There we go. Put that back down, and then you take your acetate, flip it over, and I'm going to want it to kind of, I want my piece to mostly be colored and moving in this direction. So just do a little bit of ink over here. And you can drag and pull that ink around until you get kind of what you want with it. So I think that looks pretty good. It's very organic and you can kind of control it but also let it do its own thing at the same time. So I'm going to let this sit and rest and dry. Alright, I'm going to show you again because each one is a little bit different, and I'm not going to do this for all 24 of them, but I just want you to see how easy it is. Just take some of that ink, put it onto your acetate, not acrylic, and then spritz it a little bit. And then just smush it on. This time I'm going to aim a little bit more for the corner. I ended up getting it a little further out than what I wanted that first time. So I'm going to aim for this bottom corner and then slowly bring it up and out. So that looks pretty cool. It also is very important to know when to stop. Sometimes we can really get into our heads and go a little too far. I love how this looks because it's focused around the little creature and then has some splotchiness outside of that, but for the most part it's very organized, and I like that, so I'm going to stop right there because I don't want it to mess up anymore. So all of my card panels have now dried. I've given them plenty of time to dry and they are ready to go. So the first step to putting the cards together now, so I'm gonna bring back my Mister bottle and I'm just gonna spray a little bit. I'm not sure if I should spray it in my hands because I'm a little bit inky now that I think about it. So I think I'm just gonna take the little nozzle thing out and I'm just gonna flick that onto my panel. I like to get a little bit of a bigger drop in there. It's easier usually whenever I use my fingers to get drops onto my panel, but basically remember with your distress inks, they react with water, so any water that you put back onto the surface will react with the ink and you can get some cool effects, which is what I want to do, whoops, as I touch the paper, which is what I want to do here with this. So I'm gonna use my paper towel to pick up any color, and I'm gonna have to be very careful as I'm doing this process not to pick up any random color because that paper towel will transfer colors over, so we don't want to do that. And you get some little bit of bleaching happening inside of it, so that's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. I'm gonna dry up any water that's on my surface so that way I don't get my card base or panel wet anymore. And I'm gonna use some Tombow Extreme adhesive because this is watercolor paper. I really want to make sure it stays nice and tight up against my card. There we go. So now time to do the rest of them. As you see, it is a very simple and easy card to put together. You don't have to do as many as I did, but I wanted a lot of cards to have on hand, so it was very efficient to get them all done at once. I also wanted to point out that I noticed whenever I'm putting these cards together, the darker, more saturated colors that I used, I usually felt like I got better results with those darker colors. It seems to pop better, the image looks better, everything just looks better if that color is a little bit more saturated. I tried some cracked pistachio at one point and it's okay, but I had to go back and layer another layer of the cracked pistachio on top because it just wasn't dark enough for my liking. Now everybody's individual taste will vary, so you may like that kind of lighter hint of color. I like a bold, bright rainbow of colors for this design. It's hard for me to even hold all the cards, there's so many of them. I have to say this card design is pretty legit. Get it? Because it says legit. You may not be able to... Alright, anyways. Alright guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. That lets YouTube know that you liked my video, and then hopefully they'll share it across YouTube land. Also, if you're not already, hit that button down below that says subscribe. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and get great updates every time I post a new video. You can always get social with me over on my social media links. They are listed down in the description below. They include Facebook, Instagram, Periscope, Snapchat, all sorts of great places. Make sure to check out those links in the description below. I hope everybody has a great day. Remember guys, keep it off kilter. Bye!